As the gates of Ayodhya opened to welcome us, the air reverberated with cheer. King Dasharatha welcomed us into the kingdom with a smile as warm as a father. The queens, with their embraces and blessings, welcomed us as well. The palace of Ayodhya opened its doors to us. At my arrival, I found myself enjoying the palace's extravagant landscapes and lush grass. Mithila looked better at first, but this was just as fine. The queens Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi would walk with me from time to time in the gardens upon my arrival. They would quell my confusion, for I would tell them about how amidst the people's cheers, I still felt I didn't belong. Whenever they tell me about their shared experiences before they came to this kingdom, it was comforting. I had some hope that I wouldn't be just an outsider for long. However, there was one queen that refused to engage. Her words felt empty, with a twinge of jealousy, as if I had something she could never have. Her face contoured with disdain. Whenever I would walk by, it was Queen Kaikeyi. The other queens would tell me not to worry about her. Some days it was that she was disdainful to everyone. Other days it was because I'm an outsider, then it was that she didn't know me that well, or that I didn't know her that well. I felt they were all hiding something from me. As the crown princess, I was called on to engage in state affairs. My skills in writing and diplomacy were especially useful here, yet there wasn't much to fix in Ayodhya. I enjoyed the power that Rama and I shared as leaders of the state. He too had a similar vision to mine. His deep sense of compassion and duty to Ayodhya moved me every time. I too wanted to harness his kind spirit. He and my mother-in-laws were my inspiration to impart my own knowledge. In the garden, young princesses would gather around me in awe of my presence. I assume now it was because I was foreign to Ayodhya and the soon-to-be queen, yet I felt solace in knowing I could potentially inspire these girls. We would all gather in the palace gardens with tea in porcelain cups, laying in the grass. I would tell them about my own experiences as a princess and my experiences in Mithila while I was their age. This one day, while we were gathering, one of the princesses sang this line, "I want to be like you, Sita ji." That one line I can never forget, and in that moment the girl told me that comment with glittering eyes and this warm smile that reminded me of myself when I was in Mithila. The girls in the circle nodded warmly in response. Before that day, I had never thought anyone would want to be like me. I had always wanted to be like someone, whether it be Rama or my father, or the palace ladies that engaged in state affairs, or the people who shot perfect arrows, but as my tears welled from that voice, my eyes gratefully glittered in response. Another part of my duties as the crown princess involved attending Ayodhya's festivals. All the townspeople would gather outside the mandir, while Rama and I stood at its entrance. We held hands, standing beside King Dasharatha, his queens, and Rama's brothers. Although I felt our part was merely about appearances, when night set and the people waved their diyas and lanterns, the view was synonymous to that of the stars. From up here, the flames danced along the dark grass. People sang and played the sitar or drums, setting their diyas to the ground. Rama and I simply watched them dance. There was something in the air, whether it was the lights, or the graceful sitar playing, or the dances. I am still not sure. Rama took my hand. "Shall we dance, my dear?" He said that with a tone so crisp, yet warm, a tone that bribed me into agreement. I leaded the dance since Rama was genuinely one of the most blissfully unaware dancers I had ever seen. We laughed in the moonlight as I stared into his eyes contoured by the people's lights. I kept staring into them, and I examined the rest of his features once more. His eyes were wide and passionate, glowing like embers. His under-eye wrinkles symbolized his hard work, and his lips were the thing I would touch. In that moment, Rama and I shared our first kiss while we danced. Yet for some reason, after all that anticipation, the kiss was not the thing I was focused on. Behind Rama's head, one of the queens stared like an arrow on fire about to be shot. It was aimed right at the centre, bubbling with envy, hatred, and an evil desire. From there, I had a feeling Ayodhya would no longer be full of joy. One evening, the air felt extra windy. There was no gust, yet everything felt off. "Your Grace, I have great news." A messenger arrived, bowing in our doorway. He gave Rama a letter before he jolted by. Rama carefully opened the letter. His lips pursed while he read it. Suddenly, he collapsed onto the chair. "I'm to be king," he muttered. I picked up the letter and read. What happened was, King Dasharatha had chose the next king out of his 4 sons the night prior. Rama was chosen, he said, because he was especially noble and had a heart for the people that nobody else could ever dream of. Even though this seemed of great news, Rama was not shocked from joy, nor surprise. It was regret. That night, Rama and I spoke of the future, our responsibilities, and the path ahead. He seemed more fearful than I had ever seen him, yet he was excited to have responsibility over his people. I wish I could have figured out then the source of his fear before it was too late. You are watching but not subscribing. Please watch, like, share, and subscribe, which will motivate us to do more like this.